All right, well, welcome to Stock Analysis Friday. Great to have everybody here. My name is Bennett McDowell. Today is June 21st, 2024. All right, longest day of the year today, right? So here we go. We go downhill from here. Unbelievable how fast time moves. All right, great to have you here today. Purpose of Stock Analysis Friday is for me to analyze any stocks or ETFs you may have, and I'll take a look at them. I'll tell you price targets, where maybe you should get out. If the trades, if you're profitable and you want an exit strategy, I can help you with that. So in the comments area, just go ahead and put in the stock or ETF in caps for me, and then indicate whether you're long, short, or what you need me to do when I look that up, because that helps me a lot. Sometimes you may be considering just taking a trade or got a call from your broker and you want to take a look at it, have me take a look at it to see if I agree with your broker. I'll be glad to do that as well. So just put that in the comments so I know what to do when I actually look the stock up. All right, I'm going to go over some administrational items, and then we're going to jump right in. And we're going to start out looking at Bitcoin too. That's down a little bit today. It's at a critical area right now, so I do want to go over that. All right, so I'm going to go full screen here, and let's jump in and take a look at everything here. Now, if you have trouble with the audio or the visual, please let me know in the comments, because I'm always the last one to know, right? All right, so let's get going. All right, first thing is, of course, I have to go over the risks involved in trading. Like I always say, without risk, there is no opportunity in the markets or in life for that matter, right? So the key thing with risk is you have to deal with it, right? And in trading, it's probably more important than your entries and exits, because you can take a system that wins half the time, toss up a coin 50%. But if your payoff, if your average wins are twice as great as your average losses, guess what? You can actually be a winner with that system. That's how important risk control is. Now, in trading, we always try to have better than a coin toss, right? But the idea is that once you have an edge and then apply strict risk control with that, that's going to boost your edge. So very important stuff. And I'd say most people trading the markets, that's where they have the toughest time, is with risk control. So keep that in mind. Now, the other thing too is you always want to be trading with money you can afford to risk, called risk capital. Now, I'm going to put a link up, because if you are into day trading futures, all right, I suggest using a prop firm unless you have tons and tons of money and you can do it on your own. But the nice thing with a prop firm is basically you pay them a monthly fee and you get data with that for the futures market, real-time data. And a lot of people are using this and getting great payouts with it. And it really helps you become proficient, because if you're not using good risk control, all right, you're not going to make any money, all right, in their evaluation accounts. So it forces you to really use strict risk control to get to a funded account, so to speak. So it's really a great system to use, because it's a way to limit your risk instead of trading with your own money while you're figuring everything out. So, and then once you have it figured out and you have an edge, you can go with that. So I'm really strong on prop firms these days. I'm going to put a link in there where you can actually get a discount on the monthly evaluation count. So check that out, use that link, and tiptoe into it and see how you like it. Don't forget you get the free data. So worst case scenario is that you get stuck in evaluation counts while you figure everything out, but you're getting data. Okay, so I think it's a win-win situation. All right, what else can I say about risk control? Next thing is know how to do trade risk on each and every trade. I can help you with this. I've been doing this for over 30 years now, so I've written a few books on risk control, and it will help you a lot. So I'll show you those in just a moment. And then finally, run any of my ideas, my analysis, past your financial advisor or whoever is managing your money to be sure what I recommend is suitable for you. We may look at a stock, I may love it, all right, and say, hey, that's a good buy, all right? That's my opinion, all right? Don't forget that. But that stock, even though it might be a good one, all right, may not be suitable for you because of your age, your net worth, and so forth. So definitely run everything by your financial advisor just to be sure they're suitable for you, any of our recommendations. All right, like I promised, a couple books here on money management are available. Get those if you're having a tough time in that area. I have other books on technical analysis. My newest book coming out this year called The Art of Trading, second edition, It's going to be a big book. I'm thinking 500 pages, a little more, maybe a little less, depending on how they lay it out, but not much less. So it pretty much is a brain dump from me to you, okay, in that book. So I've pretty much taken everything that I've learned about trading and put that in the book. So you definitely want to check that. I'll put some links in the recording where you can pre-order that. It's due out this year. Not exactly sure what month, but it's coming out. So you can order that at the pre-release price, and they won't charge you until they ship it. So, nothing to lose there. But anyway, we're excited about it. I think it's going to be one of the best books I have ever written. Okay, next thing to take a look at here. All right, let me see if I can get my system there. There it is. Okay, is the software we use ourselves. Now, when you trade the markets, you can't throw darts at the market, right? You got to have a plan, and the plan has to be something that gives you an edge. All right, you certainly don't want to be winging it like you would if you went to Las Vegas, right? You're going to get out of business pretty quick if you do that. So the software tools that I've designed, again, is a culmination of what I found works best in the market in my 30 years of trading the markets. And so I have charting software. The art software looks at price pretty much only. And I just did a video on that, by the way, this week. You may want to check that out on my channel. I did it on Wednesday, so it's pretty recent. But it tells you how the art system works. Also, I have the OWL, PTF, and TLM, which are indicators that I use to confirm signals when I get them on the art system. And then the emotional reader index I use for scaling out when fear and greed get excessive. Now, next row are the scanners. So if you trade stocks, this is a great way to filter out what stocks to actually focus in on. So, it takes a look. You can load all your 10,000 plus stocks in there, and the scanners will filter out the best possibilities based on our trading tools. And then the row at the bottom is all about risk control. Like I said in the risk control point, risk control, you cannot have a trading system without good risk control. So because we kind of cover all the slices of a trading pie here, we call this the ultimate trading system. Okay, so that's how we coin that. All right, here's a little blurb on the Apex situation. Again, this is the prop trading fund. So I don't want to, be pushing this, but I think especially for people that want to day trade, this is an awesome thing to do. First of all, they actually do payouts. The Apex trading is one of the best in the business, and they're paying people out. So the average monthly compensation, when this chart was done, I guess a week or so ago, the average monthly compensation to customers for all their customers since January 2023 is $11,048, $48,778. Okay. Since 2022, it's 182 million and a half roughly. And in the last 90 days, 70,633. So it's considered, I think, one of the best prop trading firms out there. And again, let me just put this up here. I put the link in the chat area, and I will put the link at the bottom of the recording for you to have it as well. But definitely check that out, okay? Because I think it would help a lot of people. And even if you don't day trade, and you're position trading and you're trying to learn, if you do it on some intraday time frames, okay, it's a quick learning process. So, and they give you free data. So I think it's a good deal, or I wouldn't put it up there. All right, and then finally, give us a like, subscribe, and share. And now let's get going here, right? All right, so let me dump that here. All right, I'm going to start out with Bitcoin, a little run around on what you're looking at here. So this is our scanners up here, all right, the thing that looks like a Christmas tree kind of. All right, so that's, we're not going to use that today because we're just going to use picks that you want me to look up. But on the bottom here, I'm using NinjaTrader platform, but you can use our software in TradeStation, eSignal, MT4, MT5, multi-charts, etc. All right, so this is the 60-minute chart here of Bitcoin. So what I do is I type in the symbol, and then all three charts change because they're all linked. And what happens is it gives me a 60-minute view over here, which is a short-term look. So every price bar represents an hour. Then the daily view here is where every price bar represents a full day. And then the weekly chart over here is where every price bar represents a full week. All right. So by doing this, I'm kind of looking at different time frames. So it's called multi time frame analysis. And also, too, I'm looking at the short, intermediate, and long-term aspects of the market. And then on top of that, our software is loaded. So I've got the ART pyramids, which are looking at fractals with certain momentum calculations to give you high probability trend trades. I've got the ART reversals up here for scalping, okay? We use this to in our day trading accounts a lot, the scalping techniques. We got fibs up here, which is not part of our software. That's on any generic platform. And then at the bottom here, we got the OWL, which you'll see me refer to, which is measuring momentum and also counting Elliott waves. Then I got the PTF under that, which is telling us if the trend is going to make a higher high or higher low. This has a 75% probability, so I listened to it. So basically, it's saying after this correction down is over, we should head back up. And then the trend line master is telling us the current trend, which is down based on this. And the emotional reader index is all yellow here. So there's been no excessive distances away from normality of trend lines. So no fear and greed present at this time. There was one in March when it was making a new high, which is kind of interesting. It painted a greed bar close to the top. So that's how the fear and greed ERI works. All right, so Bitcoin, what's going to happen? Well, first thing I like to do is take a look at all the time frames. So we've got the weekly over here on the right, and that's got both a bullish OWL and a bullish PTF. So again, this is calling for more higher highs, and then you take the highest price in the green area, and that's basically the higher high that it says has a 75% probability of being exceeded. Now, what it doesn't tell you is, are you going to have a correction before that happens? All right. So it's, it gives you kind of good information in terms of being able to know, well, is this a serious top, or are we just going to do some profit taking and pull back? So it's basically saying probably some profit taking, which could be a wave 4 or even something a little less than that. Now, on the daily chart, the one in the center, okay, this one we want to pay attention to, and it's been kind of struggling, guys. So we've got a wave 3 here, all right? We've got the wave 5 target zone here. We got a potential bottom here for a wave 4, and then the wave 5 target zone over here. So eventually, this thing will get up here where I circle the wave 5, because there's 5 waves in a trend, and that's an Elliott wave count. And at the end of the 5th wave, the trend is over. The wild card right now is, we missed the high probability target zone, and that was between 53,000 and 56. So we got a possible bottom here, but 70% of the time, markets retrace and get here. 15% of the time, they're shallow. So this bottom has got to hold, all right, at this particular point. And it's pretty far away, but it's got to hold for, us to really, at this particular point, get excited and think this thing is going to go back up before it goes down into that target zone. So I've been watching some values, and I'm going to open this up a little bit here so you can see things better. All right. Gotta love wave 3s. You can't miss them, right? So here's the possibility of what we have here. We either have an A, B, C, and this is a normal Elliott wave correction, and C wave has to be at least as long, if not longer, than A wave. And guess what? It was. All right. So that met most of the qualifications that I look for in a wave 4. Plus, we had a red OWL that you have to have. Okay, that's great. All right, but we did miss the 70% probability area. All right, so what's the other possibility? Well, all right, if this is a bottom here, then we may just be coming down to a fib profit-taking area, and we should get a bounce soon and back up. That's what I'm hoping will happen, and we're in that target area right now. All right, and that target area is between 66,148, which is this number here, down to 62,492. So, and it's sitting, it's 64 right now, and it went down into the 63s before. Momentum's increasing. So the other possible alternate wave count could be an A, where we think wave 4 bottom is, a B, and a C. Okay, that's one alternate count, and that would put it into the target zone. The other would be, an A here, okay, or I'm sorry, the other would be more alternate wave count where you have a complex correction that could go like that before it goes down. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that Bitcoin could sell off down to 53,000 to 40,000 before heading back up to this target zone. So you need to be aware of that possibility. So if you're trading this and you want to put a stop under this level here, right around, let me give you that exact level, or it's going to be right around the low of 56,500 and get out and then get back in after this move down finishes or completes sometimes in the lower target zone, you could do that. If you're long term and you really don't care about any type of correction, don't need the money, and you're going with the bet that we're going to get to that higher target zone, well, you put it under your pillow and don't worry about it. All right. As active traders, I worry about it. Okay. So we did not break this level here. And if this was a really important level, because if that's A, that was B, we had to break B. It came darn close, but we missed it. That B level, I believe, is 72,777.00, and we did not go above that on this recent high. And tried twice and couldn't do it, made a double top, and now it's headed back down. So I'm going to leave this to you on how you want to play it, but short term, we may not be out of the woods yet. This thing may go down quite a bit before we see a recovery. We're going to know soon, because if it starts going below this target here, this blue line here at 62,494, then that's a threat to come down into the lower target zone. So if you're a short-term trader, you might want to put a stop there. If it holds, then you can be a buyer after it turns around and heads back up again, or add on. Okay. So that's my synopsis on Bitcoin. A little disappointing. We're hoping it would go right up to the target, but it could meander for a while. And if it does go lower, that means we're not going to get up to that 89,000 to 110,000 level until probably next year. Okay. Or at least end of the year. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm looking at there. All right. So just a little rundown on that. Hopefully that wasn't too long here. Okay. So let's see what we got cooking in here. Okay. So the other thing I wanted to look at was USO. All right. And go ahead and type your stocks in at any time. USO a while back, or right now, is in a pennant on the weekly chart. So let's open up this chart here and focus on this move here. So wave 3 of some form, as you can see on the owl really does a great job with that. We had a correction here, and now we're in a pennant. I'm expecting, because I'm thinking this is a bottom here for a 4, met all the qualifications for it. This is your wave 5 target for oil. I'm expecting a break to the upside on here. We've been long already because the shorter term charts put us in long. But it looks to me like we're heading up to around $99 a barrel, I guess. Well, this is an ETF. So 99 to 124. That's my target on this. And if you want to wait for the breakout, you certainly can. But if you look on the daily chart, we're starting also to move up in the short-term charts as well. So it's a little bit of a range here, but I do think, when it breaks that range, which means it'll also break the pennant, it will move. So, if you're not already in it, you may want to break that range. Otherwise, if you're already in it like we are, we got in much earlier, just stay with it, okay? It should get up to that target. And don't have your stop too close. All right, let's see what's cooking. Let's see what's coming in here. Al, good to have you back here. I haven't seen you in a while. All right, NNVC, long with question marks. So he's looking at this for a possible long. All right. I love the fact that you wait for the breakout from the bottoms. Good job. All right, I like this a lot. My problem is right now, short term. All right, check out the red PTF here, okay? So basically this, nice breakout trade here, okay? And you had it here too. And look, you got green and green. So this is definitely in an uptrend according to our indicators. All right, the question is, it's in that first pullback after the big move up. So this one, I think is going to go a little lower because this is a penny stock. So it looks to me like it's going to go below $1.60. I don't want to put anybody in this yet, But NNVC should go on your watch list, because as soon as the red PTF is gone here on the 60-minute, all right, then we'll look for an entry at that point, okay? So hold off on this one, Al, for a little bit. It's still not done pulling back according to the charts. All right, let's take a look at your next one, AMCS. All right. Okay, no red PTFs, but we do have green ones, so that's good for a long position. All right, great trade back in 2023. Problem is now it's gone up so much that it's due for a pullback. We're getting a little bit of bearishness coming in on the 60-minute chart. So here's what I would do on this. Let's see if we can find a nice wave 2 here. That looks like right around 12 bucks. We got some type of wave 2. So that'd probably be right here. So I'm going to put this on the pullback area on the chart here on the far left. Let's see where we got. So I'm thinking probably we're getting down to that level. All right. So I'm thinking this pullback, Al, is going to go down to $22.23 to $19.05. That's a fib retracement area. And then I think you should look for a buy on that. So I would not get into it yet because it's at 24 and you're talking about it going down maybe another 10 to 20%. So I wouldn't get into it now, but I would put this on your watch list, and let's wait for the owl to turn green on this chart on the far left, the 60-minute chart, and let's see if we can get down into that target zone. All right, so that's what I would do with that. All right, so thank you. All right, good. All right, let's keep going here. Lost my place. All right, let's see. Where were you, Al? Let's see. Okay, got it. All right, so Terry, you're the next one up. All right, Terry, OHI. Currently long, good to know. All right, so you are long, all right. I would keep my stocks stop right at this pyramid. I don't know how long you've been long, but that low on that pyramid is $31.80, so around 31. Anywhere your stop should be anywhere a few ticks under that, so 31. 79 or 78 should do it. So that will try to keep you in the trend long enough, all right, for you to be okay. Now, if this is a short-term scalp, you got a red PTF here, I would use even a higher stop here at the low of, on the 60-minute chart, of a 32.48, so 32.47, and then this one here was actually lower, okay? In the 31s. So I would not take this trade right now because of the red PTF there. It's still in this sideways motion kind of on the daily chart. You can see it. Messy weekly chart. Weekly chart's not helping us any, all right, right now. If anything, you kind of almost could draw a pennant on this chart. Check this out. And we'll see kind of what I mean by this. You could almost draw a pennant with a line up here like that, and then grab one and draw it down like that. So we'll see. All right, but that's using the current high here. So we'll see. All right, but red PTF is a no-go on that. All right. All right. Al is back with WDC. WDC. All right. So, okay, yeah. All right. So what Al is saying is he's not going long now, but he's considering a pullback. All right. I don't see any green PTFs, and we certainly, getting in at this late here makes absolutely no sense. Okay. It's ripe for a pullback. So yes, wait for the pullback. Do not get in now. You may be starting a little bit of it now. It's too early to tell, but after the pullback, it should go higher. So let's just take a quick look at where a possible couple pullback areas could be. That's one of them. It's, around 64 to 53. It could go down a little lower. So we'll have to see. Well, we need to see some turnaround in this area here once it comes down before you actually go in. So you can put that on a watch list or not, or just come back to it, but it's going to be a while. All right, that's going to be months before that's ready. All right, so let's keep going here. Stuart, good to see you, Stuart. I'm going to call you San Diego Stuart. All right, LNG. Let's see what we got here. All right, Sue, you are, I don't know if you're long or short this. This is rotation into energy. Okay, so on this one here, I see no reason to get in. There's nothing blinking here that says buy. I see a lot of back and forth range balancing, kind of range bound. If it breaks out of this range, we'll take a look at it. But let's take a look at the weekly chart for a moment and open this up. Okay. So we got a wave 3 right here. All right. We also have, let's see if this high was higher than that. All right. So we had a 183.46 and we had 182.35. So this was your last hook. You may get one more move up, but that could also be a double top. So it's a little too risky to take it. It's either a fail. It could, what we could be in is a wave 5 that will go one more time up. But by the same notion, it's not that clear. All right. So what do I say when it's not that clear? Run for the hills, right? Okay. So I'm not liking that one. Okay. Let's take a look at MPC. And again, pulled back. Let's see if we have the PTF. Okay. So basically, probably in a profit taking area here. And let's see where the fibs come in here. So I would probably hold off on this one too. Okay. It could be going down to 154 to 114, which is significant if this is in a major wave 4. And we won't know that until really things start to roll over a little bit more, but it's on its way. Okay. So don't go into any one of those. They're too risky. Okay. All right. Al, let's see. Hood, HOOD, and you're long in Hood. Okay. Let's see what we got. All right. So on Hood here, all right, red PTF there, no PTFs over here. So we obviously looked at this one before. All right. And it's here's our target up here. So if you're long, you want to stay long. Okay. But you got to have your stop far enough away for the market to breathe. And I think it's still pulling back. So if you have your stop, I would have your stop. If you're trying to make it to that target, I'd have your stop under this area here. Okay. When you reach into above the red line at 25.12, then I'd start using the pyramids. Okay. So it's just stay long on it. Okay. And if you're not long yet, you want to go long, again, you got to keep that stop pretty low. So your risk to reward. Okay. Not going to recommend it because it's got a red PTF. All right. Eleanor, how are you? Okay. Let's see. Stay in long. Okay. So you're in these C and G. Let's take a look here. All right. So if you're staying long here, you got a green PTF short term. So very close to going red. It almost. All right, I'm saying here we got a yellow PTF now, okay, on the weekly chart. So we got to be really careful here at this particular point. And okay, so this is lower than this here. So I'm saying we're close to a top. I would put my stop probably right under this low here at 3029.64, okay? The pyramids, if you were using the pyramids, they would have gotten you out already at a higher price of 3167.88. So you could put your stop back under there as well. So either the low here, and that low occurred on, what was it? 6/3/20, so the 3rd of this month, okay? Or you could put your stop back under the pyramid here at 3120, one tick under. So 19.99. Okay. So something like that. Okay. Let's take a look at CAVA. It's ripe for a correction. Same thing with this one. Okay. Pyramids do a great job with the stops when you get up near these tops. So the low here is 83.38. So 83.37. You have a green PTF here. So you may get a reversal, hopefully short term before that happens. But that's where you want your stop. Stay with it and put your stop there. Okay, let's see what we got here. What else we got here? All right, Al is back with FT, NT. If I miss anybody's, if I pass you, it's an accident, just let me know and I'll go back, okay? All right, let's take a look and see what we got cooking here. All right, short. So he is short here and he's going in the direction of the trend, which is down. All right, now, I assume you're already short, right? So that would be that. If you want to try to scalp this to the short side, all right, you could certainly do that. And then you got a red PTF here and a red PTF here. So if you're really short-term scalping it just for a couple days, put your buy stop back under this pyramid here that's heading down. So that would be a low of 57.16, and that will satisfy the PTF trade there. If you want to stay in it longer term, the PTF is indicating eventual lows of 44. Okay, so you're at 58. Stay short. You still got the pyramids in your direction as well. All right, ON. And you're short on this one. And this one's a little more risky because you have green here on the PTF, red here. Yes, you're coming down, but the PTF red will turn neutral. So it's only saying the lowest low in the red area is 67.18 and we're at 68.72. That's not worth a short trade. No, I would not take a short trade on this. Not with a green PTF on the daily. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, Eleanor, let's take a look at these bad boys here for you. And you are, again, long on these. And again, what I would do here, we went back up one more quick little high there. I would stay with this. Now, you got two places to put your pyramids. Your stops. One on the pyramid here. Okay, so that is a low of 46.51. And at this fractal bottom here at 50.88. So I would definitely have my stop at one of those two places, simply because the trend is fairly, the short-term trend is fairly far along that we could go into a correction. Now, long-term, all right, if you're not worried about the pullback short-term, put your stop right under this here, okay, or even a little lower here. I don't want you to put it too low there, but you've got a very strong owl. So you're going to have more highs on this for sure. It's just playing Russian roulette right now to see when this thing is going to go into a profit-taking bearish correction before it goes additionally higher. That's what we're playing with here. So I'd probably just use this pyramid here and try to stay in the trend as long as possible. And then if another pyramid forms, we'll move it up. All right, so that is CLS. Let's take a look at CELH here and see what we got cooking here. All right, so, red PTF. Okay, so things are turning sour here. Now, here's a perfect example, all right? So when I say the market goes into these profit-taking areas, that's what's happening now with this. Notice the PTF is green. So eventually it's going to return and make highs. The problem is that you as a trader or even an investor have to decide how much you can give up in order to stay with the overall long-term trend, right? And, do you want to give up 30%? Do you want to give up 60% and just put it under your pillow and keep it forever? Okay, that's fine. But if you're trading this more tight to the wallet, so to speak, then you got to have levels where you can get out because you can always get back in, right? So this is red here. This is red here. So now this low here over here is not done yet. So we really shouldn't be drawing in these fib extensions yet. So we're still coming down. All right. So these are I'm going to remove this because this is meaningless now that we don't have a green PTF anymore. So, again, this long-term stop on this still has you in the market, and that stop is at 49.46, but that's quite a further away. All right, so you may not want that. All right, otherwise, put your stop under here and don't take any more loss here. And that low is 56.69, right? So keep that in mind, right? That's really important. So, it's definitely in a pullback. All right. APO, out of all the ones there, that's the one you really need to be most careful about yet. All right. So this one still doing pretty good to the upside. No PTFs helping us here. They're all yellow, neutral. Again, I would probably use this point here, one tick under here at 111.12. You could always draw a trend line and use that as well. But this is due for a correction. We have bearish divergence building in the owl here. All right. So we're toppy here. Okay. Yeah, it could go up a little bit. I call that the Russian roulette effect. But then it will end abruptly. So the best time to get into this trade was down here. All right. Not here. All right. So if you're in it already, great. But just try to protect those profits by moving those stops up. Okay. So good one on that. So you're pretty good on all those. And I think I gave you some pretty good areas to put your stops. So stay in, but if the stops get hit, get out. All right, Frank, how are you, Frank? All right, TEVA. Boy, it's great to see everybody here. All right, TVEA, looking to buy. Okay, again, Frank, all right, so I don't know how long you're going to be in this, but again, too late to buy. All right, the market's already, again, this would have been better. This is dangerous up here. All right, we got a green PTF short term. So if you were scalping this for a few days, that may warrant a long trade here with the stop like here. But I wouldn't go into it now because this is red. All right. So I would pass altogether on that. All right. Let's see. Okay. GDRX, you're already long in this. Let's take a look at this bad boy, and it's pulling back with a red PTF. Okay. So, this is, if you're in this long term, the target's 20 bucks to 31 bucks. It's a huge profit, but right now it's pulling back. So I don't know what your intentions are, but if you're going to stay in this trade, you've got to be willing to have that stop way back here. Okay. And that stop way back here in this particular environment is a $5.26. All right. Unless, I don't know where you got in, but if you're trying to make it to the target, it's got to be back there. If you're just scalping this little run in here, all right, and you're using the daily chart, then that stop would be 706. If you're trading for a few days, you would have been out of the market already on this pyramid at 847. All right, so it all depends on your style of trading and what your intentions were, long-term, intermediate, or short-term. Okay, so I'm going to leave that up to you. And I wouldn't buy it yet because it's still coming down. Okay, all right. Okay, yeah, so just hold off on that. Okay, I misread you. You say I thought you were long, but you're looking to buy long. Okay, good. All right, so wait, it's still coming down short term here, but it's getting close perhaps, but not there yet. So don't do anything. All right, let's take a look at it next week. IWM, wanting to short. Okay. I don't like to short unless I have a red PTF. We already hit the target once here. I would not short here. Okay. Leave that one alone. All right, let's go, Al. See how you're doing here. Merck, MRK. All right, let me clean this chart up here a little bit. All right, so we haven't looked at this in a while, have we? All right, so long obviously before. All right, little toppy here. All right, so I don't know what you're trying to do with this one because, it's run up a lot recently. So this is kind of going against the way you normally do it because you're kind of like me a lot. You like to look for markets that have either bottomed and are turn around or topped and turn around. I don't think we're at a major top here. We might be at a short-term top, but I can't see a short here. And I can't really see a long, okay? May pop up one more time, but that's about it. So I'm not crazy on this. I think we can find better ones for you, okay? All right. All right, so did I miss IWM? Thank you, okay? IWM. Yeah, if I miss anybody's, just throw it up there because there's quite a few coming in, and I might have missed it. All right, so let's see what we got here. So we were looking for this pullback to this area currently. We have no PTF help. They're all yellow. All right, so yellow is neutral. You can do anything you want on a yellow PTF. That's that indicator right in the center here. All right, right here. All right, so I can go long or short on that. I don't like to go against it, though, as a general rule. All right, so we were kind of waiting for a pullback here. We got it. The problem is it may come back down in there, and we got a lot of red going on here. I would not short it, okay, because we did hit the target zone. So we may just be in an area kind of like where Bitcoin is, where we could bounce up and go from here or go down here, but it's not that clear. All right, so I would not do anything with that. All right, Constance, how are you? All right, LPX. Let's take a look at that one. And you are long-term on LPX. Okay, so LPX is starting to take a little breather here. All right, it's probably been a pretty good position. The art software probably would have taken you out already here on this fractal pyramid low of $88.70, and you're at $85.87. All right, so let's figure out what this thing could do here. That is good. All right, this is declining here. No bearish divergence yet, but I'm concerned if this goes red, we could be in a 4, but this is pretty strong over here. My probable feeling on this is, let's see if we can get a target on this. That's a pretty low here. I'm thinking maybe this could just be a simple pullback at this point, and we're almost there. All right. I'm thinking if the range for this pullback should end between 85 and 80. All right. And we're right at the 85 mark. So if you're long, I'd stay long. You got two possible places to put your stop. You could put it under the 80, you can put it right around $80, or you can put it under this low here, way back here at 71.39. Okay, so that's up to you how you want to do that. But you're going to get more highs on this. The question is, how much of a pullback are we going to get before it returns? You do not want it to go lower than this area. Okay, that's a danger sign. So if it goes here, you definitely want to be out. But you know, I think probably you should get a turnaround in this. Okay, so I kind of would hold that. All right, and then look at it again when we get to new highs. FCX. All right, you're watching this one. Silver we covered already. Did you hear me about silver? Were you able to tune in for that? Were you here already? If not, I'll go over that again a little bit. All right, so let's see. Watching. All right, so neither one of these are ready for a trade, either the long or short. Okay, it's pulling back a little bit, but it's already pulled back quite a bit. We may have a situation here where we could have a bottom. That's true, but also too, we still got a lot of red on this indicator here. So I don't like to go in unless that's aligned with the direction of my trade. Okay, so probably I would stay out of that one. All right, so now let's take a look at FCX. Okay, so FCX you're watching, and again, I think we looked at that one already. Okay, SLV we looked at, but I'll quickly go over this one. So on this one here, the trade was the breakout here. Okay, I probably let's wait and make sure this thing. I'd like to see another red owl here and have it come down a little bit, and then take a look at it from there. Okay, so silver I think is a buy long term, even at these levels. But when I say long term, hold it for a couple of years. But short term, we reached the short term top and we're pulling back a little bit. So if you're trying to do this more short term, I would probably wait for that to get pulled back a little bit more. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. Hey, Don, how are you? PLTR. Well, you guys are coming up with some really excellent ones. All right. Okay. No problem. I might have missed the stock too. Let's see what we got here. All right. Long. Questioning a long position. All right. Let's see what potential we have here. I'm going to go to the short-term charts. So you got a PTF green here. And that is probably indicating we got some more highs coming. It's not my favorite. This is kind of what I put up there to scalp one more high maybe. But it did pull back. It has retraced. You have to have your stop if you're going to go long here under this pyramid here. So that's got to be at $20.62. So you're giving it about a 4-point spread, 3 point something. All right. Now, where's the target? I'm going to give you a quick target on this. And it's not going to be that great. Okay. So right around 27 to 32. And I think that's pretty accurate. So if you wanted to take that now, you could take it. All right. But I'm not going to recommend this because it's not that high of a target. But you got to put your stop pretty close, like around 23 for that because of the risk to reward. Okay. So it's not that great. Okay. Stop's a little close to make that work. All right. Let's see what we got here. Al is back with CPRT. All right. Long. All right. So we got green PTFs in the short-term time frames. Oh boy. Okay. So basically we got a red here. We do have a green here. Again, Al, you know, you're so near the top here that we could fall off. We could make one more quick high and then fall off. So if you wanted to do a scalp trade here, you could take that. But you know, this PTF could also remain green the entire time during a wave 4. The savior is this is green, okay? But that's only got a top of 55. All right, so if you wanted to scalp that, maybe, but I'm not going to recommend it, okay? Not for any type of position trading, okay? All right, so again, Al, and just a note for everybody, try not to put any more than 3 in a request, okay? I just like to keep it moving on. So I'm only going to cover 3 of these, and then you can put them in again, Al, okay? BFH. Otherwise, we get stuck too long on one set of picks, okay? So trying to make it fair for everybody. All right, so you're looking at a long on this one. Well, this is much better, okay? Now that the PTF is no longer red. All right, I'm liking this, okay? I am liking this. Next question is where the heck it's going. All right, so we've got some form of movement here. Looks like we may have some stabilization here. I'm going to put this in the buy, okay? This is a pretty good one. So let me tell you my thought process here. We looked at it before. We were waiting for it to break out of this range-bound market. You kind of don't want to get stuck in those, right? So it did that, all right? Got green PTF, so the range, it looks like it's a real breakout. So that's a good thing. I put my stop pretty far down or use options. But at the very minimum, I think you want your stop here at 32.10, all right, which is pretty far away, all right? But I'm also looking at this as a possible huge move now to the upside. So if this is a significant bottom, that's really good. I'm going to open up this weekly chart for a moment. Kind of looks like Bitcoin before it took off, right? All right, so let's just do a few little things here. First thing let's put in is, let's see where that bottom is. That's the wrong line. I want to use that one. I want to use this one. All right, so let's put that in, okay? So that's the major bottom. We go below that, you get out for sure, all right? The next bottom that's significant is right here. And you almost got a double bottom there. So that's a pretty good place to put your stop. Pyramid's got you a little bit higher. But the problem is that if you get a pullback, that's got to hold, and it most likely could. But I'm liking that. I think the next thing to do is, all right, if this is not a bottom, whoops, hold on. If this is not a bottom, let me move that. I keep pressing the wrong buttons here. All right, so that's the bottom. All right, so if this is not a bottom, and we're just going to pull up a little ways for a correction, where is that going to be? Well, that's going to be probably 55 to 73, which is still not too bad, okay? So what we do in a case like this is we're hoping it will take off. We're hoping it will just blow right through here and keep going up. But what we want to do is see when we get here, all right, what it does. Does it start pulling back and start giving us some areas that reason for getting out? or not. And so we kind of will analyze at this. So I'd say go in now. We'll take a look at it. You still got enough profit here that I think it's worth taking the trade. Okay. Risk to reward's a little funky, not quite perfect the way we like it if that's the target, but I'm hoping that'll blow through the target. That's my thinking. Okay. So we like that. All right. Let's take a look at your next one. OCUL. OCUL. All right, so this one, not a long. All right, red PTF right away. No, not yet. All right, and then the SPR. And let's see what we got here. Okay, so this one's got a pyramid here that looks good. I'm going to open up that weekly chart. And yeah, that looks like a good long-term trade. So let's put SPR, but let's specifically call it long-term. And I think basically we could have a bottom here. So put your stop. I would put your stop. Let's see if that pyramid's a good place to put your stop, because the pyramids are designed for the swing. So let me see. This ideally is a great place, but that's too far away to make it practical. So let's take a look and see if we go from here to here. I would put it probably under that pyramid. I think that should be as good enough as you can do it here. So I think that's okay. All right, so a low here for 25.15, put it at, okay? And that's for a long-term trade. So you're going to be in that for a while. Short-term, all right. I mean, if I was going to do this for a few days, I wouldn't go in now. Too late, okay? Wait for a pullback and then go in. So long-term only on that one, okay? All right, your other ones just retype in later. All right, so, okay, so BERY, let's take a look at this one. All right, I don't know if you're long or short on this one here, but I would not do anything with this, okay? UA. All right, this one, let's see what's cooking on. No, I wouldn't do anything on this one either. All right. All right, so constants on silver, I think I covered that a little bit. I'll go over that one more time. But the trade really was a while back, and it's kind of pulling back a little bit. But long term, I do think this is going much higher. So I'm not going to recommend it because I already recommended it a week or so ago, or 2 weeks ago maybe. But we got in it a long time ago on the Moore report, like back in 2023. So that's been in play for a while. We're thinking this is a major bottom. We had a breakout here in 2024 again. So it's moving up. Long-term fine, but you're getting in a little bit late. You may have a little bit more of a pullback coming, but long-term it still is looking good, okay? All right. Okay, so these are long possibilities. MGM. Let's take a look at that. All right, so red PTF, no. Okay, not on that one. BTI. Yes. Okay, this is a nice trade. Pyramid just got cleared there. And even if this is a, let's do a retracement trade right up in here. Now you got to, when you do this at home, take your time, make sure you draw these super accurate. I'm doing pretty quick here, but so, you know, it's a reference. But basically when you do this and you're setting things up, you want to be pretty precise on these drawings here. So I'm looking at a target of 34 to 39. We're already at 31. Now that's a short-term target. All right. And if we look at this, that's actually a fairly good target for right now. So let me just see this here and see. Yeah, it could be a good bottom here. I would say go ahead and take it. And let's, like that other one, let's see what it's like when it gets into the target. In other words, do we see it faltering or do we see it going up? You got to put your stop at the pyramid for risk to reward. You'll probably get a pullback at some point, but you know, it could go much higher before we get the pullback. So I'd go in now. All right. So BTI is a buy. All right, good one. All right, SAM. All right, so I'm going to say no on this one for a little bit. Let's see if that pyramid gets formed on the daily. And we're still got a red PTF and bracketing on the long term. The only trade I could see as a scalper would possibly be this one here on the 60-minute. But again, if these are all inside price bars based on this, find the highest inside price bar and you wouldn't go long until you break that anyway. So that's a no-go for right now, okay? All right, let's take a look at RBLX. RBLX. All right, so here we come in here. Let's see. Got a little bit of a roly-poly. All right, this one I put on a watch list. I don't think I would do this one right now, okay? I'm a little concerned about the channel on the daily chart, or weekly chart rather, okay? So watch this. We need to get above that level before a considerable long trade. We might not. We might just stay range bound. So, you know, it might just be roly-poly for a while. Let's see any type of thing we can draw there. Let's see if we can do a pennant or something here. Maybe something like that. And then something, I'm going to do a little more long-term like that. So we may have a pennant forming here, okay? So whatever way it breaks out, that might be okay. But you can see how roly-poly it is. I just don't like to get stuck in those things. All right. All right. So Eleanor, let's take a look at VRT. Frank, I'm not sure what you're saying here. BA not in. So I'm not going to look that one up unless you retype it and tell me if you're long or short or what you want to do with that. All right. So good ones to be long in. Very similar thing. We're starting to pull back a little bit. Again, very strong on the weekly chart. So once again, if this is an investment and you're looking to hold this, then if it pulls back to 71 to 48, is that going to bother you? That's the first question you have to ask yourself. And if the answer is yes, then the next question is, okay, so what can I do to avoid a bigger pullback? Well, you can use this pyramid on the weekly chart, and that would be 74.56 is where you get out. Or, okay, if you want to really do it short term, you've got red here, you should have been out already on this pyramid here, okay, if you held on. So, you know, you can put a stop under this level here. But for you, probably the pyramid here might be okay. Now, you'll get stopped out if it goes into a wave 4. So, you know, the idea is you're going to get stopped out at a better price than if you let the thing unwind into a wave 4. And then you'd have to get back in, though, okay? So it's up to you. It's due for a correction. We may be getting it on the daily chart now. It's not a wave 4 necessarily on this chart. So it could be more minor on this chart. So let's just take a look at that and see what level here. Yeah. So again, you know, it's still enough to get you stopped out on that pyramid. So I would probably use you know, it's a tough call. You know, if you want to give it a lot of leeway, you can. If not, you're going to have to get out. All right. IRM. All right. So I definitely think we're going to get some more movement up on most all stocks. Had a little bit of a correction, a little bit of volatility right now. I don't think the top's in yet. So, you know, if you want to hold these, that's fine, but you may have to, you know, suffer through some volatility here. All right, so this is looking pretty good. No reason to get out of this yet. All right, we're seeing a little bearish divergence there, but it's still pretty strong here. I'd use the pyramid on the weekly chart for, because I think you're long term on this. 78.05 is where that is. And I think this one is the same level here. So 78.05. All right. Now, here's the thing. All right. If we pull back, if your stop is here, this top here is the same as here. Okay. So those two are the same. So you have green here and you have green here. So the likelihood of a small pullback and then a reprocessing to the upside is most probable. When this turns yellow and this turns yellow, then we're in the category of probably a significant top. And so therefore you want to move your stops up tighter. All right, so that's kind of how I play it. So I'd stay with that one. All right. All right, let's take a look here. IBN for long. All right, Sue. I wouldn't do it. It's too late. SSL, your other ones are better. We got 3 of your other ones. Okay, this one looks like it'd be great, but the red PTF is keeping me out of it on the daily, so no on that. AT&T, that's T, right? Do you mean A? Okay, no, I'm sorry. AT is what you meant. All right, my bad. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, not much history and kind of range bound here. Red PTF, no. Okay, no go in that. All right, Lowell, good to see you, Lowell. All right, KR, let's see what we got here. Looking for entry for long. Okay, wait a little longer. Okay, I like the long trade, but at this time we got a red PTF on the daily. So I don't think we've come down quite enough on this pullback. So we got to make sure that goes away and this turns green. So next week, bring it next week and we'll look at it. INO, I think we looked at INO already. I'll do it again real quick. All right, I like INO except for the fact that it has a red PTF now. So no go on INO. CIM. All right. This actually is looking pretty good. Green PTFs across the board. We got a breakout. All right. So here is a previous high. We got the breakout. We got a pyramid in the breakout. We've got a green over here. And so the answer is yes. ZM is a buy. CIM, sorry. Okay. Target is $31 roughly, $31.50 to $46. All right. Nice risk to reward on that. Okay. So that's a good one. I would put your stop if you can on this one at 12.29. So give it some room in case it goes. Once it passes this high here, then move the stop immediately under here. Okay. All right. So that's a go. ZIM. Good job. All right, Bradley. Good to have you here. All right. FS. LR. Bradley, how you liking the software? Good? All right. In all 3. Okay, Bradley just got our software, I think this year. Glad you're here. Good to come here. Good learning experience. All right. So yeah, you're good. All right. Again, if you're using the pyramids and you got in super early, all right, then the pyramid would have you out here. And then once this finishes, you'll get another pyramid over here, hopefully, and go long again. All right. So basically, if you're trading just wave 3, you're out of wave 3. If your goal is to get way up here to wave 5, so if this is a 3, you got to always have your stops under the fib retracements. Okay. Don't use the pyramids on wave 3 because you'll get stopped out. They're designed to profit you in wave 3. All right. So yeah, this is looking pretty good. I don't think right now I'll recommend it because of the red owl on the 60-minute. I don't know if it's going into a major 4 on the daily yet because this has to go red for a major 4. More highs to come for sure. We're nowhere near a wave 4 on the weekly, so I'm not concerned about that. Let's take a look. I'm going to put this on a watch list because this actually could be a really good one. I just want to be sure the correction down is over, and I'm not sure about that. Okay. All right. So just be careful on that one because maybe if that since you got the software, maybe when the owl turns green, you go long, put your stop under the fib area of 229.48. The other concern I have, let's just see, even on this chart here, I don't see an ABC, okay, at all. All right, I see an A. Are we going to be a B and then a C? So whenever I don't see the ABC, it tells me that the correction is unfolding and not over. Okay, so be a little careful in that. HPE, we'll put it on a watch list and look for it, because I think once we can figure out if the current correction is over. When I say correction, sometimes just profit taking, but when that's over, then we can have an opportunity to go in. All right, so this one, same type of thing. I see why you want to go long. We got a nice breakout on the weekly. We got green on the daily, but it looks, again, like we got a pyramid correcting here. So I think what we're doing here is we're just correcting off this leg up and probably just off this. So let me just draw quick fibs on this. And you can do it on you can do it on the daily, or you can do it here. For example, if I just grab this and, I just use this fibs here and grab here and go here, we're close to in that target zone right there. So again, there's no ABC yet. So we're kind of just beginning. So let's see what happens with that, okay? So in this case here, let me just see if, I think this is going to be the exact same thing over here. Yeah, pretty much. So let's hold off on that, okay? This has got a little bit lower low, 20.31, but I may not have drawn it perfectly accurate, but it looks pretty good. Down to 1876. So again, watch list. Let's put this on a watch list. I like it, just not quite yet. All right, and then NVIDIA. Oh boy, NVIDIA. What do you do with that, right? Okay, so you're in all three of these. Okay, so you're pretty good shape with those, I think. You are going to have to go through a correction though. All right, so NVIDIA again. It's every time you get into a breakout like this, you got to be careful of having your stop at a place where you either lock in profits or you allow for the correction. Now, we have no bearish divergence in the owl up here, do we? Okay, it's just screaming. We've got green across the board, a little bit of yellow here, okay? We had this pullback here, okay? And you had an, looks like to me, an ABC, and then it on here. All right, so it's still, bullish. I think if you were long-term this, there's absolutely no reason to get out, but it is probably going to come a day when it does correct. But for right now, I probably would have my stop way down here on the weekly time frame. So a low of 75.61. That's 50% lower than where prices are now. Now, if you're trading this on a daily time frame, you got to have your stop on this pyramid here in the center, which is 117. Okay. So, and then what I would do is I would probably scalp some off, scale out when the PTFs turn yellow on the daily chart. Okay. But no reason not to stay in those. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at, all right. Frank is off to trade. He's in Austria. Okay. All right. Good luck with that one. All right. So let's see what we got here. All right. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. T. Okay. We're in it. Let's try. Now we can do the AT&T. All right. So let's take a look at that bad boy. All right. AT&T, we're in it. And it looks to me like, again, it depends on what your overall synopsis is on this, but I don't like this one. I would probably, if you're in it, I don't know where you got in it, but, stop no lower than here. Okay. You got red here. So, we'll see. This is close to going green, but so I'm thinking maybe we're kind of, let's see if this pyramid gets justified or not. So if we get above that, which is 1845, all right, then that's a good sign. Otherwise, if we don't, then you got a double top and you got to be careful. So I put your stop, either here, or even here. Okay. That's where I would do that. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. Oh, my pleasure. Love to hear this. Bradley, software is great. Glad I got it. Recommended to everyone to buy. Thank you, Bradley. And I did not pay him to say that either. Okay, let's see what we got here. MO for Al. MO. All right, so, okay, actually, this one's kind of interesting. Let me open up the weekly chart. All right, now, let me just draw a few little pennants in here. I think that we got cooking here. So let's draw one there. And then let's draw one here. Okay, so I would say a breakout to the upside on this pennant is a go. You've already got an entry off the pyramid. Okay, so that's really good. Let's just see, maybe we don't even need to wait for that. Let's see what the lower time frames. So we got here, we got green back here. So I think what I would do, Bradley, is I think I would wait for the breakout of the pennant. Okay. Let's see if make sure there's some follow through, because this has been kind of wacky for a number of years. So the only thing is, you know, you're going inside a pyramid that's technically inside kind of a range right here. So I would wait for the breakout. I'm going to put this on a watch list because I think this really could be quite a good one. Please bring this back every week until we get some type of breakout here, because I think once you get that breakout, it's going to take off. I think it'll, you know, break out of this high. In fact, here, let's just do this for fun. All right, let's draw a fib extension. I mean, that's the possibility, 70 to 95. So even if we got a breakout at 50, that's a great return on your money. And if it gets up to that top area, then that's almost, you know, 100% return. Not quite, but almost. So I'm really liking that one. Okay, but just let's give it a little more time to break out of that pennant. Awesome. All right. Anybody else? Well, I can't believe we've been here over an hour already. My gosh. All right, cool. All right, are we ready? Do we read the winners? Are we ready to do that? Going once, going twice. I always like to give it a minute or so, because I'll talk for a minute, because sometimes people type in things and I want to make sure before I read the list off that we've looked at everything. So Al's got MO. Oh, MO. Did I look at that one, Al? MO. Oh, yeah, that's the one we just did. Okay. No, sorry. All right. So, okay. So I think we're good. Cool. All right. Let me read the list here, and then we'll go ahead and, I knew Frank would come in with one. AMD. AMD. And this is going to be the last one. Okay. AMD. So you are thinking along, I guess, here. All right, let's take a look. Well, it retraced nicely into its retracement zone, didn't it? We've got green over here. We've got a pyramid here, but we got a little bit of red here. So possibly, let's look for the ABC. So 3 here. ABC. So I'm liking that. I would say, okay, you could wait for this to go green. You're a little bit in here, but I have to be honest with you. You have a pyramid here. You have a nice stop right close. I'm going to put this on the buy list. I think this is a pretty good one. Good job, Frank. Okay, AMD. Go ahead and type that one in. All right, so I'm liking that. Now, a couple things with this one. All right, the stop for the most safety, if you put it at the bottom, that's fine. Okay, a couple ticks under maybe. All right. You really want to be bold, you can put it in there, but the problem with putting it in there is your trade size is going to be so small. So I would not do that. I would just use either the bottom or even this pyramid. Okay. I'm liking that. And the target for this, then, let's calculate that. Let me just make sure. Yep, that's as good a point as ever, I think. Let me just make sure here that this wouldn't be better. I think that's probably a better target. Okay, so let's draw the extensions based on those anchoring points. Let me just make sure. I don't think I got that right. Okay, that looks better. Okay, so my target is 232 to 288, and we're at 162. Okay, so that's one we're going to put as a buy. Okay, good risk to reward, great, as good an entry as I think you need, and you're all set. Okay, so good job. And that is Frank. All right. Okay, so now let me go over the winners. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 winners, and we got another 5 on the watch list. So let's. I'm just going to read the list now. All right. So we got ones that we like today. BFH. We got. Boy, I can't even read my own writing. Is it SIR long term? I'll have to look that up again. All right. VTI, ZIM, and AMD. Okay, so all 5 of those are good. On the watch list, MNBC, AMSC, FSLR, HPE, and MO, which is one of my favorites for the watch list. All right, so those are actually pretty good. Now, I think as you can see, even though the market's experiencing a little volatility pullback, I don't see a top here yet. I think we're going to probably go higher in the overall markets, the NASDAQ, S&P, and the stocks. And I know there's a lot of people calling for a major top this summer. I don't see it really, because there's so much more room left on some of these stocks to go higher. So I think probably no major top on the market probably until the fall or next year. So I think we can still play to the long side short term. Now, in terms of interest rates fueling the market, not sure what's going to happen with that. I said possibly the most you'll ever get in this year was 2. I said that about 6 months ago. I'm thinking maybe 1, and hopefully we'll be lucky if we get 1 in September. And we probably might, depending on what the markets are doing and so forth. But I think also, too, an election year, so they're going to try to keep these markets at least somewhat balanced. All right, so that is it for today. Thank you for coming. I'm going to go full screen again, and we'll put some of the, let's try a couple of intraday markets here. I've got so many different screens here. Let me see which one I want to use. All right, so let's do that. That's the daily. Okay, so let's use this here. Okay, scalping this morning. All right, let's find a 15-second one over here. And we'll maneuver this to 15. Okay, there. All right, so let's see what we got here. And that's weekly, so we want to go over here and find the 5-minute. Okay, this little scalp this morning was done on the Apex account. Basically, we did an art reversal and a recovery real quick. We scalped pretty quick on some of these short time frames. That was actually I think we use a 2-minute time frame for that bad boy. But anyway, there it is back there. Okay, see the sell right when that was hit off the 1B. And then a buy and then a trail buy. Okay. So that was a profitable trade. So anyway, scalping is not for everybody, but it's kind of a fun thing to do every once in a while. All right. So I'll leave this on. I'm going to just put a little music. You can watch it. I don't think I'd be too much doing anything in this right now. I think I'd wait for I don't like to scalp when this is red down here. So we've got red here. So I'd kind of be looking, I think, maybe more for some more signals to show up before doing anything. But I'll leave that on there, and then you can check it out, okay? All right, so we'll see you back here next week. Thanks so much. Great picks today, and have a great weekend, okay? I'm going to put music on, and I will mute out. one quick thing. I'll put this, I put a link again. If you're interested in the Apex situation, you can see, use our code because they'll give you a good discount. And then I'm going to go ahead and hide this so you can see the charts better. Okay. All right. Have a good one. I'll see you next week.